God. Welcome, everybody. We are live today with Dr. Renee. I love saying Dr. Renee. Welcome. So, this is a fun little tester for us. We do live, but this one is like a new adventure, right?
Yes.
Just to welcome the new year, do something we've never done before, and experiment. As a teacher, you know what that's like. So, you like, right? You like, this is the way to really challenge yourself sometimes. You like, do
That's
something
it.
new.
That's
Just
right.
like, because you do some stuff all the time where you're like, am I learning something different? So,
Yep.
welcome. So,
Welcome, welcome.
today
Thank you.
we just going to continue a great conversation. I feel like we're always talking about health, but people realize we don't just do this at the beginning of the year. This is all the time, all the
Yes.
time. Health matters to us all day long. So, tell our viewers and listeners, who is Dr. Renee? I know you wear many hats, but let them know. Let them know.
Woo, woo, woo. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Renee Tengella. I am an educator. I'm a mother of twin boys. I have an older daughter as well. But I'm also a yogi and a wellness coach. And on this journey, seems to be for a long time. It's like an ongoing journey. You just never stop trying to make sure
Hmm.
that you are well, that you are healthy, that
Yeah.
you are thriving in the things that we do every day. So that's the thing.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, I think especially now your work has always been challenging as an educator, but now more than ever,
Yes.
more than
Woo, over the
ever,
top. Like over the top.
testing you, right? But I'm
Yep.
glad today you had a little break. How did you use that time? Did you just do more work or did you actually like take the time to replenish?
Listen, teachers love snow days. I love a snow day. Oh my,
A good snow
particularly
day.
when you don't really want to give it to us. Like at first it was okay, 5 o'clock in the morning, they sent the text or email it. We're gonna be 2 hours delayed. I'm like, really? We got 5 inches of snow outside and we're gonna be 2 hours delayed. And I
Mm-hmm.
kept saying, I just like praying, like, just give me the day. Please give me the day.
Just give it to
And so we got the day. Thank you, all the people and players. That whoever made that happen, whatever
me. You're like, I
interventions occur,
accept. Thank
I
you.
accept
I'll
it.
see you on Monday.
Yep. And
Okay.
so I just spent the day doing stuff that I don't get a chance to do, like calling people back, making phone calls, emails. I did a little bit of that, just a little bit. I spent a lot of time just with my boys. I was gonna go outside, but I wound up watching them from the window. I didn't
Mm-hmm,
go.
mm-hmm.
I didn't go. Um, and just like making sure they were okay. I feel like a lot of my day when I'm with them boys, is finding stuff. He, one of my sons is creative. He wants to always like find, well, mommy, where's the? I'm like, where's the what? And then we gotta go find that thing. It's like,
Look
no,
for it.
I'm not doing that today.
Let's
So I
look
kind
for
of
it.
chilled.
Oh my God.
I chilled.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's you. I mean, you do it well in terms of adjusting. I mean, you literally been doing this for like over 2 decades,
22 years.
22
22.
years. Oh, that's a long time. So that's
It
like
is.
beyond, that's a calling. I hope that's a calling, even though it's
It is a
time
calling. It is a
for a new
calling.
chapter.
You have to be called to do this work because
Mm-hmm.
people don't last. People don't last as long
Well,
doing
yeah.
being an educator in an urban district with challenges all around. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a calling.
That's
But
work.
I'm being
Work, work,
called to
work.
go somewhere else now.
Yeah. Well, the
It's
one thing you
okay.
you continue doing while you teaching is really helping people get healthy, and that's what that's our thing, that's our thread in terms of a
Yeah.
commitment to helping people improve your health. So even though you yourself, your wellness coach, do you still interested in improving your own health?
Always. I have to be the model. I gotta be. I can't help nobody if I'm not right.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just raising my kids. I can't even. I can't even help them to live a fulfilled life if I'm not fulfilled. If I'm not well, I can't even expect them to run around if I'm not going to run around with them every now and then. Not all the
Mm-hmm.
time, but so you got to model that and you got to be that. And it's not that it's not perfect ever,
Right.
but it's a work in progress. It's like you have to be the thing that you want what you want to be and what you want other people to be. I want everybody to live a long, healthy, thriving life. But I can only go by one day at a time.
Yes, yes,
I
that's the
can't
best
worry
way for
about it.
everyone.
One day at a time.
Everyone. That's a great, yeah, that's a great motto. And as you know, at certain time of the year for us, for
Yeah.
me, and I know it's a lifestyle. Like it's not just at the beginning of the year when it's a holiday, when I'm going on
No.
vacation, my birthday, or I have to go to like, people make an effort when it's
Right.
like a wedding or something is coming, but in spite of being and because of, I think we are
Yeah.
in a pandemic, to truly sort of we do that, we shift in
Yeah.
terms of how we see taking care of ourselves. It's not
Yeah.
optional. Like at this point, I'm like, I'm not negotiating this anymore. Like
Nope.
taking care of yourself is priority. So, how I know you've had a few things out there teaching people about self care. Like, sometimes you never know. Was it a wake up call? Like, what sort of got you, and now it's like a driving
Good
force to like,
question.
I gotta get healthy. It's not just like if you feel like it. It's still challenging, but for you, it's like that's a
Yeah.
commitment.
I think it's been years. Like I remember being, it's always one person in the family that comes home. Like it was me. I came home. I might have been in college. See, it's probably been 30 years ago.
Stop
I
it. Yeah.
came home and I wanted everybody in my family to be a vegetarian. I'm saying, why
Ooh.
do we gotta eat meat, y'all? Why we gotta eat meat, Mom? Can you stop eating meat? I can make this without meat. I can do this. I was learning, I was growing, I was doing different things with
Mm-hmm.
eating things that were more healthier. And back then, a lot I know what happened. It really didn't happen to me per se, kinda, but more importantly, my child, my daughter at the time had had eczema, right? And
Okay.
I wanted to find a way to help. I just realized this. Well, thank you for asking me. I wanted to find a way to help her relieve, not have that, because my brother had it, I had it, and I didn't want her to have it.
Okay.
So it became a dual thing. Okay, for me and her, what can we do to get our lives together? How can we decrease these toxins from causing us to have this skin condition? Because
Yeah.
our skin is just big, a big organ. So there was
Yes.
something going on, and I had to, and I researched some people, and I talked to some people because I was not even living in Baltimore at the time. I was living like in a suburb of Baltimore, and wasn't
Okay.
nobody out there talking about it. So I had to come into the city to try to find some people who was doing that thing, who was doing health stuff, who had another way of living, and that kind of curved my life for 30. Yeah, and I'm still on that train.
You're still
Yep,
on it.
yep,
Even the yoga, right? I think one of the things that's interesting, not interesting, but it's like so many different field that we in, right?
yep,
Education is the same, healthcare is the same, the health and wellness field is the same. Even when I think about nursing, I used to think nursing was such a diverse field until I started working with students going into it, like from high school, and
yeah,
getting them interested into the health sciences.
uh-huh,
Every field seemed to lack diversity. So I was even happily surprised to know that you also a yogi, right? Because I don't see too many women of color, or perhaps they're not as visible.
yeah.
Where do you think sometimes people think like, people of color or communities are not interested in health?
I
Is that a
think that
misperception?
well, it's a bill of goods we've been sold too. Like just think about our diets, how we get these diets. Our diets are most important. Most of the, if you look at, and most people, I'm not saying everybody,
Mm-hmm.
most people are eating the same food of their grandmother, of their ancestors, of people who've come before. And have many of us who are trying to change that dynamic have just, like, say for example, collard greens. We Most people, my mother used to cook collard greens till they died. Like they were so, what color? I can't tell you, the dark, 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 ugly,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
not bright and vibrant. So we have been taught that, and they've indoctrinated to believe that that's the food we need to eat. And anything that we eat that's opposite of that is not a part of our culture, whatever. And it's
Okay.
not true. It's
Yeah.
not true. All across the country, all across the world, people are eating healthy food, living off the land. It's just that we didn't get that experience here in America, and so we go for what is fast, what is the not the best thing, and that just contributes to all of the health problems that we
All of it.
have
Yeah.
as a community. So
Yeah. I see that now. I mean, when you think of all the different diseases and illnesses, whether new
yeah,
or they've been here for decades, and even more recently, I'm discovering and relearning there's such a thing as generational health. Just like we talk about generational
Wealth.
wealth, that there
Yeah.
are certain things that are passed on that we may not be knowledgeable enough to know about. Like we know certain things that, okay, once one person get it, it's great to know, okay, you need to go to get that checked because it's that. But to truly understand that there are certain things that are passed on, but it's not a death sentence. It's not a curse. I hear a lot of people, just like the wealth part, think it's a curse when
Yeah.
one family or they find out later that person have it, because there's so many things we're facing. We face it in silence,
Yeah.
as particularly as women of color. I don't know why, but again, it's another thing where we are conditioned in terms of there are
Yeah.
certain things we're dealing with that are particularly, um, I would say, even more fatal. There's no little fatal, but it's like when it happens to us, it's just
Right.
there's no turning back. But I do
Right.
believe changing our lifestyle and being more healthy, there's nothing to really lose when you think about it. Like whether you don't have to wait until
No.
you're sick to start making some changes. So
Right.
as we start this new year, and again for us, we do this every week. We're always talking about health and teaching and so forth. Like what would you want people to do differently this year, right? Like I hear people talking about goals, but whether you yourself personally, what is one health intention that you have this year?
Um, I think I got several things I'm trying to do, but the main thing is continue be hydrated. I'm drinking that water, leave like it or not. If I got to put lemon in it or put garlic in it or whatever I got to do, because I realized that I need a little tincture in my refrigerator. So when I'm feeling a cold or not even,
Mhm.
just feeling like I'm not my best, I pour that tincture in something else I might be drinking, because I drink a whole different lot of things. But I don't drink any soda. I don't drink any. I drink more like teas and kombuchas and things like
Yep.
that to kind of keep that whole digestive thing good. But keeping my water hydration and then planning out. This is the strongest, hardest thing for me, planning out my meals. Like,
Mhm.
I think the main thing I said I was going to do, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to do it like I want to do it. Like,
Okay.
my daughter brought me what is
Oh,
this
that
thing?
pot thingy.
The pot thingy, the
Okay.
Instapots.
The
And I made some
instant
black eyed
Instapot?
peas.
Is that an
Instapot.
instant thingy? Okay.
Yep. And I made some black eyed peas for New
Yes, you
Year's.
did.
And I said, you know what? Every week I'm going to just make me a pot of soup and I'm going to eat that soup. And I kind of halfway did it. I don't have this thing about eating stuff longer than a couple of days. I don't know what it is.
No, you did well.
I
Here,
need to get
look.
over it. I know.
Look.
I
I'm gonna
made
give
that
you
pot.
credit.
Yeah.
As from coach to coach, okay? You're gonna get credit, okay? Because you prepped it, it
Yep.
was done. And again, being back to school, like I know you, like one of the things before, you weren't even doing anything before. Now you're prepping your meal
Yep.
on Saturday, I mean on Sunday, most of the time on
Yeah.
Sunday you're prepping, right? And so these are the steps you yourself literally before this year, you were
Yeah.
like, you were clear in terms of I need more energy. I'm going back
Yeah.
to school. And you made that shift,
Yeah.
right? You're not where you were before. So I feel like give yourself credit for doing
I will.
something, right?
Something.
It
It's
doesn't
true.
have to be everything, but you were
It ain't.
clear, like, okay, I need to hydrate. And you started, part of like the 30 day to healthy living program
Mm-hmm.
that we both are doing together, where it's like you
Right.
drinking your water, you cut down on caffeine. Oh my God.
That's everything. You know what? Now that you
You
say that,
cut down
I
on
did.
caffeine.
Yep. Because
So that was huge.
I was drinking, I was drinking a good amount every day. Okay. I don't
You
start
were
my day
drinking
with
that.
it, but I
And you
truly end
probably
my
thought
day
that
with
was
it.
giving you energy. So I think the other
Yep.
one of the things I love about what we both do, but also like, the 30-day healthy living program, is the fact that you start paying more attention. And the thing is, sometimes people give us credit thinking like we must be perfect, right? We never eat
Oh,
something we're not supposed to. We're working out all the time. We
it's not
remember
true.
things. But it's the fact that this doing that, like you were able to drink things where now you were not drinking the caffeine
That's right.
anymore. You were mindful, right? I think a lot of time we don't think about it. We just grab whatever's there. And
That's
so
right.
when you're at school, you're like, oh my God, I spent half the day, I didn't eat anything. So thinking in advance
Yeah.
was for you to think about what can I bring? What can I make on Sunday that can last me for a
Mm-hmm.
few
Yeah.
days? And then the idea of also incorporating some movement. So we've been doing a lot of breathing and stretching
Stretching. Yep.
regularly. It's everything, right? Even
Yeah.
I don't care how short it is, wherever you do this, I'm telling you, since last Wednesday, not even this Wednesday, so you did last Wednesday when you came to the morning program that I
Was
do
that
on
last
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
That was last Wednesday. It wasn't the
Wow.
new year yet, right? And everybody's
Wow.
still talking about it, like, oh my God, that was so great. And that was barely 5 minutes. That was like five, like literally. Um, because it was so calming, right? People were like, this
Yeah.
is great. And so every time we get you, like this morning in our community on the sleigh ground, we're like, Dr. Renee, we're gonna breathe. We need to breathe. This is what
I love that Val asked the question because, of course, I was busy
we
doing
need
some
to
other stuff.
breathe.
And when she said that, I said, "Oh yeah, yeah, I should. Yeah, let me get myself together
Let's
to
do
do."
it. So it's
It
a
was
treat
beautiful.
now wherever you go. And today's is no different, right? So I'm hoping you do a mini, and we don't need music or anything. But I think that's the thing. Sometimes people complicate it, right? So I
Yeah.
always want to give three things whenever we get together in terms of we talk about hydration, we talk about, really keeping track of being mindful. What are you eating? Drinking throughout the day and making sure
Right.
you're doing that. You value meal planning. So a lot of people sometimes they're like, I don't cook, I don't do this, but it's more about the preparation where it's like
Yep.
you have the things that you need. Like you don't always have to make them. Like you make your meals. So
Yeah.
unlike you, for me, it's like sometimes I'll order things or make them in advance and simply separate them. But
Yeah.
knowing I have things that are available to have. And I think that's one of the things I'm enjoying within our own community when we get together. Or even when I watch what you're making, like the ingredients you use, I don't always use these things. Like I don't do the black eyed peas, but I'll do
Something else.
the
Yeah.
chickpeas, the kale is in there. Sometimes you just right now, because of the season, based on where people are living, I don't know, based on who's watching where you live, the idea of the soup and the stew is seasonal. It's perfect
Mhm.
for right now, right? Because
Yep.
it's
It is.
cold where we are. So if you're lucky enough where it's still like, I don't know, 60 degrees, a tropical situation for me. So it's just like, love want to wherever that is. And so
Right.
if you like it's a warm climate, so I feel like stews and soup are awesome because it
Yeah.
fills me up quicker. But also the idea of hydrating throughout the whole day. But also a lot of people because they're working at home, it's still the same. You should still plan what you're going to eat because if you wait until you're hungry or until you're bored, sometimes many of us are not eating because we're hungry. We're eating because it's noon. We're eating because it's one or because we awake, right? We
Yep.
just let's just eat. So I think the idea of hydrating, sort of like making sure a stomach is full with liquid is different than like when you're just eating. But also stress. That's the other thing. Before I have you do the stretch and a little breathing, we'll just do the breathing today. A lot of the time, stress is literally the underlying reason that many of us are eating unhealthy or unhealthy as a whole, or that we're not, where we want to
Right.
be,
I
right?
know. Yeah.
And so, I mean, we talk about your work. And so, everyone, regardless, whether you're still going in somewhere or you at home, stress apparently is literally part of our day to day, right? And so, a lot of that is really thinking about how do I minimize that? And even part of my work as a wellness coach is really thinking about how can I help you reduce stress? Because
Yeah.
you function differently when you remove the things that are causing that. So, what have you done to reduce stress in your own life? What have you done? Besides calling me or
Woo!
texting me and be like, Marie.
I think I think through meditations and through breathing, it brings a sense of clarity
Mm-hmm.
that I think I'm really just experiencing, and I've been doing yoga probably for the last 10, 12 years.
Okay.
But it brings a sense of clarity of the things that you need in your life and the
Mm-hmm.
things you are going to do and the things you're not going to do. And so, like, it has really helped me to realize one, everybody is not going to be on my team, and that's
Mm.
okay.
Ooh. That's a
And then every
revelation.
and then every answer cannot be a yes.
Okay.
There's got to be some no's in there because I have to protect my mental space, my mind. I have to protect my ear gates. I always talk about all these, but I have
Mm-hmm.
to protect those things because there's some great things that are laid out there for me to do, and I really feel like I need to be my best so that I can do those things that God and the Creator and the ancestors have put in my lap to do. So And I like this morning when when we were talking this morning on Playground about procrastination is an
Mm,
assumption that God is gonna
mm, mm,
give us
mm.
another chance, and it's
That was a good one.
ain't no
Yeah.
guarantees,
No,
no
people, I mean,
guarantees.
people say it. We don't change our behavior for that to reflect that, right?
Yeah,
Because as you can see, you still some people are still saying, like last year they were saying this year. Last
I'm gonna
week they
do
were
it.
saying next week.
I'm
And now this weekend they might say, Monday. And then, oh, you know what? Let's wait a little bit, right?
yeah.
Truly, it is not. And particularly now, I'm like, if being at a pandemic is not a wake up call to do things differently, to
I don't know what is.
reprioritize, I don't know what is. I don't know what it's going to
I
take.
don't know.
I don't know what it's going to take. But all
Yeah,
of us, we're doing our best. And I think right now, the one thing I appreciate within the communities that we're part of is that we don't have to do this by ourselves, right? Whether you
no,
consider yourself to be an expert already,
yeah,
coaches need coach, caregivers, caretakers, like all the people who do, whether you frontline or not, every single person could benefit from this. But at the
yes,
end of the day, it's really your decision.
yep,
Your decision to say, I gotta get healthy and to do what it takes where you are. Like you don't have to take that leap in terms of everything
yeah,
is going to be changed, but it's that one thing like you said, in the beginning when I asked you what's the number one goal, right? Last year for you it was about boosting your energy, like I need more energy, and you thought caffeine was doing it. And then you made that switch, and now you're drinking more healthy things and you feel like you're not missing anything, right?
nope.
Do you feel like you miss your
I don't. I like a warm drink. So, but
do
my
you have your
warm drink could be
tea?
any. My
Yeah.
warm drink could be anything. It could be tea. It could be a matcha. It could be
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So I'm just learning that, and the caffeine doesn't have to be my mainstay. I mean, every now and then I will drink a cup. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
but
But
I
not daily, right?
but no, not daily, and
Right.
I don't have to have it. Like sometimes I
Right.
gotta get this. Nope, I don't have to have it at
Yeah,
all.
right. Yeah,
Which
and
is
so that's
good.
a huge thing. And so you're just adding a little bit at the time. So for those who are still listening and be like, this is too much, I'm overwhelmed. And the beautiful thing is it's like we get to do it together. We get to be
Yes,
healthy together. So a lot of time we're like,
yes,
let me not say anything to anyone. And you're gonna get a message or something from me in terms of did you do what you
something,
something.
something.
You cannot. So accountability is real,
It
consistency
is.
is
It's
real, being
good.
around other people who are also in that path in terms of wellness. Like one of the questions I will continue asking, particularly with the work that I do with so many different places, is the idea of for some of us, regardless of all the wake up calls, the crisis that we face,
Yep.
is part of it the idea that we're not worthy of good health? Is
Yeah.
that part of the issue where it's like, as we, it's something to think about
Yeah.
in terms of it's not lack of information. It's not sometimes it is lack of resources and access to
Right.
good, whether it's good food or healthcare or ways for you to really take care of yourself. But again, we always say to people, we're gonna start exactly where you are, and then we're
Yep.
gonna take those small steps. But it's really the habit. So as we're wrapping up,
Yeah.
is there one habit this year that besides the drinking water and the other one that you will continue to practice or make sure that you stay consistent with this year?
I was gonna say habit. I was gonna say the word habit
Mm-hmm.
because
Which one?
we get into the habit of what is comfortable for us. We don't want to come out of our comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
What tastes good, right? I know when I was eating, when I used to, I was gonna say when I eat steak
You're gonna
salads, when I used to
confess?
like eating some fried food or whatever,
Ooh,
I
okay.
used to know, I used to know where in this city I could go. Every time I go past
Oh,
there, I wanted to go
you're gonna
get
get
that
something.
food that
Okay.
I know I shouldn't have, right? So it's the habit. It's the habit, training your brain and knowing
Mm-hmm.
that there are other things, one thing at a time. If we
One.
cut the sugar, if we cut the salt, if we just cut back on one thing at a time, increase our water. For every thing we drink that has so much sugar in it, drink 2 glasses of water. We got to balance it because
Yeah.
I don't mean go cold turkey, but just a
Right.
little bit at a time. So the
Just a
water,
little bit.
hydration, yeah,
A little bit adds up. A little bit becomes
yeah,
big, just like the unhealthy one, right? Because sometimes you're like, oh, just a little. And then you turn into something where it's not
yeah,
on a daily. So I think the idea and one of the things I'm grateful for is that we get to do this every day together. Now,
yeah,
we may not see each other necessarily, but
right,
the idea that we have to continue doing those little things. And if you miss it, So let's say one Sunday you did not prepare your meals, right? It doesn't mean you go back to your old ways. So I
Right.
think a lot of it is really
No.
mindset. So for those as you listening, is just your mindset in terms of thinking differently and
Yeah.
wanting to treat yourself differently. And I to me, it's a combination. Is that marriage between self care, self love, but also a little joy in terms
Yeah.
of that kind of thing really changes everything about you. And it's inside and out. It's not just to look good, right? We want to feel good. We want to move different. But also for
Yeah.
me, I'm reaching, well, I'm not at that age yet per se, but even though I'm still young, I still want to age well. And
Yes.
that's one of the things I love about the business that we in terms of really thinking of all the aspects,
Yeah.
whether it's like mind, body, spirit. And I add skin all the time to the mix, as you mentioned before. Like sometimes we
Yeah.
have all these issues and not realizing it's about what you putting on your skin, but what you're putting in
Yeah.
your mouth. And
Yes.
also our environment, right? A lot of things come and land on our skin. Even
Mm-hmm.
now, when you think about like breathing and all these different things, it
Whew.
impacts you more
It
than ever,
does.
right?
It does more than ever.
So
More
that's
than
why I
ever.
know now, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's why now is the time
now
because
is the time.
we are so bombarded with so many different Ronas and Ovids and
Mm.
COVIDs and MOVIDs, and
Oh,
we just got to be vigilant. I mean, of course, people say, "Well, I go to the doctor." No, they got before we get to the doctor, because as you see, what happens when we go to the doctor, one, it's crowded because everybody else in there got something going on.
right.
Let's prepare ourselves to be well and healthy before we even have to make that step. And if you're sick, okay, of course, you got to go to the doctor. But there are
Hmm.
steps we can take, little tiny steps that we can take so we can be well. And if we got to go to the doctor, okay, you got to go to the doctor. But you tried some things at home. You tried some things as far as your mindset, as far as your hydration, as far as your stretching and moving that have really gotten you to a better point where you may say, well, I don't need to go to the doctor right now. I can wait a little while,
Hmm.
So
Yeah. But
just prepare.
also, the last thing I would say is really listening to your body, right? Because I
Yeah.
think, particularly for women, sometimes we feel something and we're like, let me wait, just like everything else, right?
Yeah.
I'll check it on Monday until you literally, oh,
Yeah.
you like you it's you're
Yeah.
on the floor. You're on the floor at this point,
Yeah.
right? So
That's
not to
true.
wait, to learn how to listen to the signs. Your body's telling you things all the time in terms of, whether you're sleeping well, whether you feel the pain. When you feel the pain, it's not normal to be in pain 24/7. Now, there are some chronic issues you may have where you have
Yeah.
adjusted and you
Okay.
can live with it. But there's certain pain where it's like, okay, come on. We don't need to wait and see, because
Yeah.
by then this is where you don't need to wait, where there might be a solution, there might be a treatment, there might be something. Again, there's no guarantee like the whole thing will be gone, but you don't have to stay in it. And I think sometimes we get so used to living unhealthy that that becomes
Yeah.
the norm. It's normal
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
feel all these different things, right? So do you want to
That's
do a
it.
little breathing before we head out?
Yeah, I do. I do. I do. I do. Let me prepare. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, and you don't need music or anything. So, thank you everybody for tuning in today. You get to meet Dr. Renee, who is an amazing educator, wellness coach. We are live in different platforms. So, leave a comment and let me know, what do you think? What tip are you going to try after watching or listening the program today? Because this is ongoing, right? So,
Yay.
that would
Okay,
make
I'll
me
put
happy
some.
to hear after watching somebody's like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I would love to hear that in the comments. Let us know.
Yay.
What will you do
I'm
differently?
crooked. I'm crooked. I'm crooked. Okay. Yes. So one of the things that I'm learning to do is to really empower my breath, like breathing in intentionally during the day. Because like sometimes we get into situations, I know I do in a classroom, where I'm talking so much,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm not even breathing right, and I just have to just take a breath. I take a breath with my kids, or I take a breath and say, "Y'all, give me a minute." and I go and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, we got to get it in because that's how we hold our stress is with our breath, and then our breath becomes shortened, and then then our believe it or not, your breath and how you breathe, the oxygen that you bring into your body can improve your immune system or not improve your immune system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it has so many different benefits. Improve our brain power. It's just so many things. So look it up.
Yeah.
Deep breathing and the benefits. But Also, grounding, like being in a seat, being comfortable in a seat or standing up, pressing your foot down, your big toe, your little toe, your heel, just to kind of get that stretch down there. And then as you breathe in, your belly expands. So you're expanding your belly. You're consider thinking of a balloon, whatever you want to call it. And you're breathing into that space. You're kind of pushing it out, um, as if you are blowing up a balloon. The balloon is expanding. And as you breathe into that space, and I close my eyes just so I
Mm.
can remember. So I'm not asleep, y'all. I know sometimes I
Okay,
do
close
fall
your
asleep.
eyes. It's okay.
Not this time. But I close my eyes so I can kind of feel what I'm saying. So as we breathe in, our belly's expanding. And breathe in again. And breathe in one more time. And then just hold that breath for 3, for 2, for 1. And as you release breath, you're blowing out the air. Your belly's going in, so you're pressing it in. You are deflating your belly. Deflating the balloon.
Mm.
Breathing out. Breathe out again. Breathe out one more time. And just hold that for 3, 2, 1. And just feel that for a minute. Doing that over and over again, even if you just be 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, in the morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you can get it in, will help to just shift your mind, shift your energy, help you to kind of improve that immune system. There's so many different benefits from deep breathing. And we'll do more things as we
Yes.
go throughout the year. That is the first step, is doing them deep breaths during the day, midday, whatever you can, to help just stabilize ourselves, to help us be focused so we can not be stressed.
Hmm.
So yeah.
I love that. I love that. And also, part of our practice is to keep everything simple, right?
Yep.
So a lot of
Yes.
time you get one thing, the max you get is like three. And then you decide which one is a fit for you, which one is
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah.
And for us, this is a journey. This is not something we're going to do for the month. Even though we do our 30-day healthy living program consistently throughout the year, but it's not like, okay, I did it, check it off the list, and then I can go back to my old habits, right? We are not going back to those habits,
Yes.
right? We
Right.
are, and that's why I love the idea. So I don't know if you saw the news that I mentioned, the planting seeds journals are out. So the excitement,
Yay!
the excitement. So to me, I see that as the habits, right? You just do a little bit at a time. Like,
Yep.
what do you want to grow this year? What do you want to work on? And you just do a little bit at a time to develop that. And I
Yep.
do think the mind is key. And for many of us, we do write down. Some people are like, I'm not into all this journaling and writing and so forth. Do what works for you. If you can keep everything in your brain, I cannot. There's so much happening. I'm thinking at the same time, so many meetings and this and that.
I
It
know.
is, to me, it's another way for me to feel lighter and less stress by removing these things from my mind and writing them on a piece of paper. Whether it's
Right.
a beautiful journal or whether it's a notebook, whether it's on a sticky or you have notepads. Some people do stuff digitally. Whatever works for you. So once I remove it from my mind, I even sleep better sometimes. Where it's like I'm not
Yeah.
overthinking it because I can't sleep sometimes. I'm still thinking about the things that didn't happen, right? So that's another way,
Yeah.
that's another habit in terms of how do we get lighter. And I think by
Yes.
doing the breathing and the stretching, it just allowed me to pause for that period of time. But the
Yep.
idea that you're right there guiding us, right? I
Yeah.
don't have to again, don't try to figure this out. Like, we're here to help.
Yes, we are.
That's what we are here for. And so reach out. And so my goal this year, I want to be able to help. I mean, I'm aiming with those big numbers, but be specific in terms of um, clients that I want to help, people who do need the help. But for me, is investing in my health, investing in my growth. And someone said something amazing. You weren't able to join us this week for Wellness Wednesday. She was like, I am committed to fun. Committed to, can you imagine? We are committed to so many things. To me,
Wow.
that's another way of releasing stress, like
Yep.
committing to joy, committing to fun, but also committing to my well-being,
Yeah.
right?
I
And say
like
it.
it.
Like we commit to so many things, but say I do to your own health. Seriously.
Yes, I
Say I do to
do.
your health. Say it. Okay. So that's
Right.
our message for today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Share
Yeah.
this, subscribe to the channel. And very soon, Dr. Renee will also have a channel that we will share with you. So
Yes,
you
I
can,
will.
okay.
I'm trying to drop my book in 2022 too, right? And my
But the
book is
channel
about
will come.
wellness at work. So give me I need this month, probably less, but I want to just give me a whole month.
Hmm.
It's coming because I just gotta, you know how you want to put something out there that represents you and who you are on an authentic level. I'm adding my little tweaks in there, but you can always text me, email me, Dr.
Hmm.
Mama Educator on
So you on
IG.
IG, you on Facebook, but
I'm
the
on
channel
Facebook.
doesn't have to wait, Renee. I will keep saying this until the channel
Another
doesn't have to
thing.
wait.
Okay, we'll talk about
Amazing.
the
Well, this is
channel.
the channel. Actually, you on the channel now, okay? You on the channel now.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So you don't even have to create it. You get to be on the
Good.
channel. So
I like that.
we spread the message on multiple platforms, right? And so the books, you'll get that one day. You get to hear us on multiple platforms. So a lot of
Yep.
people, again, subscribe so you know, because Dr. Winner will definitely come back again. And this is the conversation that will continue. It's definitely not a one time off. Our goal is to be able to share
Yes.
those, just simple tips again, simple tips. But we want you to apply those things. It's not just enough to be talking about self-care and wellness and be healthy. That's so easy to do, right? But we got to do. It's about the daily duties,
Do.
about the daily habits. And so let's start planting those seeds and making sure that we are flourishing. We're done with that struggle bus, right, Renee? We are done. We're getting off.
I'm
Are
off the
you off
struggle
the
bus.
struggle bus?
I
So
can't ride that bus no more.
get off. Get off, okay? So I wish the same for all of you. Say yes to your own wellness, say yes to well-being, and say yes to a little joy in spite of what's going on in the world. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Next
Yes.
time.
Thank you,
Bye.
thank you, thank you.
We're like, thank you, thank you.